have Leo Lowin. Ken, we'll start us off.
Thank you. Ken Kreitzer, SAL Radio. Leo, good to see you. First, how was your second spring practice today?
Yes, sir. It was good. Went well. I think we've been doing a really good job of just going out there, getting after it. It honestly didn't really even feel like the first couple practices. It felt like we kind of just jumped straight back into where we left off and just got a lot of reps, got a lot of drills, and got better. So it was good.
Just to find your linebacker role, inside or outside?
Inside.
You played a lot the last few games last year, Liberty, Navy, and then also Missouri. I think you had 8 tackles against Missouri. How did your game improve when late last year?
I think a lot of it, obviously knowledge of the playbook was a big thing for me. This time last year, I was a free safety still. So just kind of jumping in that linebacker spot early in the summer, I guess. And then just kind of getting the playbook down and really just becoming confident, I guess, has been a big thing for me, becoming confident that you can make a big open field tackle one-on-one. And as the season went on, obviously you get more used to playing against the big teams, big games. I think that just showed during some of those games at the end.
Is weightlifting important for you, making that transition from safety to linebacker?
Definitely, yes, sir. Trying to put on some weight still, but definitely got up there a little bit. I feel better right now, obviously, than I did a year ago, especially at the linebacker spot. So yes, sir, definitely.
Great, thank you.
No problem.
Ken McMillan.
Leo, as you just said, you were a free safety at this point, but then moved out to, you played primarily outside linebacker, correct?
I was inside linebacker, just a will the whole time. Or I was. Okay. Are you talking about last spring or right?
No, last when you started the season, didn't you kind of step in at outside linebacker?
I was a will linebacker, so we call it our inside linebacker. Some people kind of get it like confused, I guess, but I was the will linebacker, which is still inside for us.
Okay, so with a solid season behind you, how much more comfortable are you playing this role?
Definitely a lot comfortable. I feel pretty good about the season coming up. Definitely a big opportunity to kind of like start showing the guys under me about or teaching about the plays and helping them with the playbook. But definitely feel a lot more comfortable with this position and the fundamentals of it, and just like obviously moving back from free safety to linebacker, it's a lot of big footwork change and technique. You do a lot of different things in terms of fitting the gap and taking steps forward towards the line. So I feel a lot better about that this year.
And knowing where you're going to play has got to be an advantage going through this camp and then into the preseason camp.
Most definitely feeling settled in at will linebacker. So should keep doing that going forward.
What do you like about playing the will?
I've always been a contact guy. It was never too fun covering those slots out in the open space. So I think it's nice to be in the box and feel like one of the more athletic guys in the box, and just yeah, obviously making the tackles is always something I've thought is fun to do. So keep doing that.
We've seen significant personnel losses at linebacker each of the last 2 seasons. What's your feel for this group early here heading into next season?
Well, definitely. Eric was a big part of our defense last year, and Camonte did a great job in those CIC games. But same thing every year. Those guys move out, and the new guys step up and step in. Obviously, it's a weird feeling, kind of like looking around and seeing the guys that you got now, but we're all confident that that's more than enough for this next season, as long as we keep improving and getting better.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Joe.
Hey, Leo, Joe Iacono with GoBlackKnights.com. Just one question for you. Did you play any linebacker in high school, or was last year kind of your first foray at the linebacker position?
I played for like 3 or 4 games my senior year, just because one of our guys went down, and I moved from I was like an Apache at high school my senior year, and I moved to will linebacker for like 3 games. But I honestly didn't really I didn't know much of the gap schemes and stuff like that and footwork. So this was really like a big new experience for me. A lot of learning. So that was good.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Sal.
Hey, Leo, can you talk about the enthusiasm Coach Braswell brings to the field in practice?
No doubt. Yeah, that's something I think he'd be very proud of. He definitely, just like every practice, the energy is never really lacking. He makes practice fun. He makes the meeting rooms fun. It's easy to pay attention when he keeps you into it and energetic. And so obviously that's a great part of our linebacker group, just having him as our leader and following him, doing what he says, because he's a great, fun guy to follow.
Leo, you just mentioned about playing linebacker and getting used to it. A lot of the players last year told us about you have to really stick to your assignments. But how instinctual is playing this position? I guess the tendency is, go to the ball, but you got to be careful about how and when you commit, right?
Right. No, I definitely. This was something I learned back in high school. I remember there was one time I remember like I had a good game, and all of a sudden, like the next game, I was trying to do everything, trying to do too much. And that's one thing I really like. You got to focus on here is that you got to do your assignment within the scheme of the defense, and then after you've done that assignment or assured that like your gap is taken, your gap is sealed, then go make a play, then go run to the ball. So obviously, instinctual is a big instinct. Good instincts is a big part of it. But as long as you know what you're supposed to do and where you're supposed to be, and you cover that assignment, and then that frees you up to go make a play and do what you do best.
With that in mind, was it easier playing? Forget the physical part that you mentioned earlier. Was it easier to play at safety or easier to play here at linebacker?
I would say linebacker, mainly just because at free safety for me, it was like you're just doing a lot of thinking, right? Maybe it was just because it was my first year learning a new defense, but you're doing a lot of thinking. You call out every new. We have a lot of checks for every call for how wide the receivers are split and what you got to play to that versus if they're tight down or if you got a tight end in the set. Versus at linebacker, I felt like coming down from safety, I knew what they were going to call because I like remembered it and I knew what that meant for me. So it just became more like instinctual and I could learn it quicker just based off that previous knowledge.
Leo, what's the reaction back home with you here at West Point for a couple of years and seeing some action last year? What's the reaction of the hometown folk?
I mean, hopefully they're proud. I don't know for sure. I know my high school specifically has got a couple guys that are doing well right now. So I think, try to make them proud every day and keep working, keep getting better.
And you've been here now, almost 2 full years. So tell me about your experience here at West Point. Are you thrilled with the academy life and all?
I mean, no doubt it's tough. Like that, but that at the end of the day, that's what we signed up for. I think everybody kind of knows that coming in, but you don't really understand it until you go through it and you do it. And I can look back and say that I'm proud of the person I'm becoming. I know I still have 2 more years left, and I'm very excited to see who that leads me to be. And I have no regrets, not at all.
Other than the football part, what do you enjoy most about being here at West Point?
Cliche, but the people. I've met a lot of amazing people. And just to see what this going here like does to you personally and like builds character, right? And just seeing where that leads you to be and who that person like 10 years from now, who you will become because of what you did now.
Any surprises about being here at West Point that you maybe didn't know coming in?
I mean, not specifically. Obviously it's not quite like I'm from Austin, Texas, and it's not quite like Austin, Texas. I had a lot of fun back at home. I was very fortunate growing up to have such a great group of friends and all the guys and girls and all that stuff. But now that's not as much the case, but it's still everything I asked for.
Thanks, Leo.
Yes, sir.
Leah, just say, what's your major, what's your academic study area here at West Point?
Yes, so I'm doing engineering management.
That's terrific. Tell us about some of your colleagues in the linebacker room, some of the other inside linebackers this year.
Just about them personally.
Yeah, or just who they are and a couple of thoughts about them.
Yeah, so obviously Spencer Jones is he's also a fellow linebacker from Austin, Texas. Great guy, great work ethic. Just plays super hard. Good at knowledge of assignments, amazing. Hamilton Baker is one of my good friends. He's a will linebacker with me. He's from Alabama, but he's once again very dedicated to getting better and becoming the best he can be. Peyton Hampton's one of our seniors this year, senior linebacker. He's a Mike. And same thing. I mean, I think really the whole linebacker group as a core is really dedicated to getting better. It's very competitive this year, I would say, as opposed to last year. Like every guy is like competing to try to get as much playing time as possible, which I think is a great thing. And obviously, makes us strive to get better every day.
How is it with Andre Carter? Had a spectacular season last year, rushing quarterbacks. What do you learn by just playing and practicing with Andre every day?
Yeah, well, he provides a great example as to what hard work looks like and what that does for you. He's always been a guy that kind of keeps his head down, doesn't say too much and doesn't need to. He just he has his goals. He wants to achieve great things, and he goes out and he works and he does what it takes to do that.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Ken McMillan.
Leo, what did you learn from the seniors who have now, moved on? What lessons did you learn?
Yeah, man, I learned a lot of things. Those big credit to that senior class. There were some an amazing group of people, I think. Really good leaders. I remember Cedric Cunningham, for example, was one of the first guys I guess got to know coming in as a free safety. And just once again, hard work, has his goals, and continues to work hard every day. Just consistency with him. Guys like Eric Smith is a great example to what dedication looks like. I don't know anybody that puts in more hours off the field watching film as much as him. I think of like Nolan Cockrell, once again, great, just works hard, just very dedicated in the weight room. Like you don't want to talk to that guy because he's focused, he's locked in, and he's there to work every time.
You just mentioned all the hours Eric watched film. You guys don't have a lot of time at West Point with all the things that you have to do. Have you found that balance yet? Do you feel comfortable, or does it get easier once you become a junior and senior to have maybe a little more free time?
I'm hoping so, but last year was definitely not so forgiving. But I've heard, I hope it's true, but junior and senior year is a little bit lighter on the class load. So hopefully that can free up a little more time to watch film and focus that towards football things during the season, especially. So yes, sir.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, everybody.